Can you imagine that the government has just declared that every company, no matter what they produce, has to submit employees, certain amount of employees. Well, if they employ 150 employees, they have to submit at least two names, two candidates to sign up for the military service. They might call it a contract service. Contract services. But imagine that happens and your company has to give two names. They have to sign up two names from that company. And if the company employs 300 or more, then it's three names, and so on and so forth. Now imagine that this company, if this company does not comply, they could be they'll be penalized. Yeah. If they resist, they would be fined. They would be fined. Of course, it's going to be in the millions because that's the way it's been, right? Because recruitment numbers are down. Recruitment numbers are down, and this war has to go on. It's been going on. There's no stop to it. What would you do if this happens? This is what's happening in Russia right now. Yeah. Every company, no matter if it's state-owned or private, has to submit two or more employee names for military service. I don't know about you, but I can imagine that happening here. I mean, either that or companies are going to be paying in millions for resisting, for saying no. Yep. Yeah. What would you do? You know, in Russia, they already have foreign soldiers fighting on their behalf. I think Koreans are there. Would you mind being a contract soldier? The rules wouldn't apply to you the way it does for regular um, military individuals. It's slightly different. But you get paid, and you have to submit for a certain amount of years. And of course, there's sign-on bonuses. We've seen that before. Sign-on bonuses. Would that help? Would you sign up? Would you mind? Yeah, and they would have a deadline. In this article by Matthew Lowe in the Business Insider, in Russia, they have until September the 20th. And if they don't submit names, they'll be fined. Could be 1,000,000 rubles or more. Just what if? And in other news, the Treasury just declared the U.S. insolvent. That means broke, broke, broke. If the U.S. was an individual, a person, they would file for bankruptcy. insolvent. But I don't hear mainstream media talking about it, and if they do, they make it sound as if it's normal. There's just so much going on. And meanwhile, he still wants over 500 billion more dollars for this war. That's not a war. 500 or is it 200 billion? Yeah, 200 billion. Still wants 200 billion, and the Treasury has declared the U.S. broke. Oh, and the ground troops, they're only U.S. soldiers. No one else. Only U.S. soldiers going in. What do you think about that?